You are now listening to the Hot Take
match,
Hot Box.
You know, it's starting to look like it's over, right? Don, I mean, it's the lower graphics are popping up. Everywhere they're doing the hand raise, and they're saying, "Wow, what a great night from Survivor Series."
I'm about to get to sleep.
Yeah, we're like it's over. You know, it's time to move on now. We can just go about our day. And CM Punk is not going to show up, but then, you know, the static hits. The crowd comes absolutely unglued. Cult of Personality starts to play. And out comes CM Punk in front of Chicago. And the moment was exactly what we talked about, what we dreamed of, what we were hoping for. It lived up to it in every way. It was a incredible return. 9 years from the Royal Rumble in 2014. CM Punk is back in WWE, and then near 4 months ago, he was in AEW, wrestling in front of almost 100,000 people. So, what a time to be alive! What a time to be a wrestling fan! What a time to be a WWE fan! I know you were just as pumped as I was.
Psyched. Again, it was one of those things that I was ready to turn the TV off. I was about to be like, he ain't coming, it is whatever. And then the music hits, and you're like, nah. And then you start freaking out a bit, and then he comes walking out. All of those videos, I've seen so many reaction videos that have been tweeted all the last week of just, oh my God, CM Punk, like people on Twitch, people doing live streams, people doing it and then just being so shocked. Like that was almost my reaction as well. Just seeing him just walk out looks good. First off, looks good. But again, the fans love him. And then I think the coolest thing was, and we're gonna, I guess, peel back the curtain of WWE biz. You couldn't tell because they started shooting reaction videos to the people that were in the ring, and you couldn't tell. Did they know about this? Didn't they know about this? Is Seth Rollins really freaking out? Is this more of an angle? Is this a work? So it started the gears started turning after that, and you kind of just, again, your brain went in a million different directions. But you were just happy to see CM Punk back. But yeah, no, it was electric.
As a wrestling fan, anytime, that's why I didn't understand people who didn't want to see CM Punk. Maybe you don't like him, maybe you do, whatever. Even if you don't like him, just having another talent like that in the fold and having the possibilities of whatever they do with him and all these other people now, the stories you can tell are endless. So why in God's name would you not want that? This is awesome.
There are too many people thinking, and again, not that I'm one of them, but I could understand the thought process of thinking of, oh, this might not end too well. But to be honest, I'm not looking at how it could or couldn't end. You know, I'm looking at what's the immediate future right now. You know, if he has another dust up with the locker room and has another meltdown and starts leaving, that's a future problem. I'm in the current and the right now. The right now is seeing CM Punk, Seth Rollins being that first feud for him and getting that, again, money match.
Yeah, and that's what it's like. You made mention of Seth Rollins is freaking out, telling I'm going to beat that fucker's ass when I get back there.
I couldn't tell if it was real or work for the first little bit, and then people started being like, no, relax. It's more of a work.
Yeah.
Some of it was maybe some real emotions, but he's not about to go have a breakdown because CM Punk is back. And again, I think the storylines here are just endless. You have almost a year plus worth of storylines with him just being back in WWE, let alone, future storylines of future people he could wrestle with that he has no history with.
Yeah.
But you have 3 guys that he's had an extended history with, a little bit with Seth Rollins, obviously more so outside of the ring, with some comments being made and some shoots and everything like that. You're going to get the Roman Reigns feud with Paul Heyman, which I wish I could just fast forward. I would love the Seth feud, but if I could just fast forward to seeing CM Punk and Paul Heyman back in the ring together again, that's just electric. And then obviously the history with Cody, and then if you want to get really crazy, bring back John Cena for another run and see if you could run back Cena Punk for the 8 billionth time. But
Oh
it's
man,
I think you got to do it at some point in time, right? Like
give it to
you
me.
can't not do it.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't not do it.
it's just the whole landscape has changed in the 9 years that he's been gone, and there are so many new guys that were like they were, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, they were on the come up, but now it's a whole different ball game and a whole
I mean,
different
Kevin Owens is
conversation.
a name.
Yeah,
Kevin Owens is a name that, like, if you were, and this is what we talked about, like, you could tell me whoever is going to be CM Punk's first feud, and I'd probably just be like, yeah, that's probably gonna bang. Like, that's gonna be a great feud. That's gonna be a great lead in. That's gonna be a great match. And there's a list of people. You got Kevin Owens. You got the obvious ones like Seth. You got the obvious ones like Cody. You got the obvious ones like Roman. Hell, even Finn, hell, even Drew, hell, even I'm not gonna say Dom, but Finn, Drew, Damian. If you want to do feuds with them, it's almost like he doesn't have the extended history in WWE with them, but those matches are still great matches for him. I think you could go either way, and I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Like that's the promo is going to be great, the match is going to be great, the lead up's going to be great, the whole thing's going to be good. And again, CM Punk, it gives you that flexibility now. Like, I was watching Raw. It was basically a 25-minute promo with Randy to open it, and then a 5-10 minute promo at the end with CM Punk. But you don't need to see them really particularly wrestle too much. They could just be standing there with a mic, and I'm pretty intrigued.
yeah, and that's kind of always been the case with CM Punk. It seems there's never been a dispute that he couldn't talk or keep the people interested. He's very good on the mic. What do you think they do with his first feud? Do you think it's Seth Rollins? Do you think it's just kind of they're going to lead this all the way up until Mania? What do you actually think they're going to do?
I think it's got to be Seth Rollins. I think there's no real other way to go around it. I don't know if it'll be for the. I think at that point Seth might drop the title before then, which I think he's bound to do anyway. And then I think you start the Seth CM Punk feud post Rumble into Mania. I think it's probably better for Seth too because it gives him a bit of a break. I mean, he's been carrying that title for 6 months and breaking his back literally for the last little bit. So having a feud that's already set in place that, again, he doesn't need to have matches on Monday Night Raw too often. He doesn't need to do a lot of this stuff. It's almost reminiscent of the feud that he had with Cody, where it was set in stone after Mania that it was going to continue on and keep going, and it was a great feud, but kind of similar to that, I think. Who was his feud last year at Mania? Who did Seth wrestle at Mania last year?
Wasn't it? No, it wasn't Logan Paul. Was it?
It was Logan Paul.
Right? That's what I thought.
It was Logan Paul. Yeah, so again, that was another one last year where that was kind of set after the Rumble, and it was kind of one of those, it was set it, forget it almost. Have awesome lead-ins, have awesome promos, have awesome conversations, and then kind of at the Mania put on a banger. I think it could be similar with Punk, but I think he has to drop that title first to do that.
Yeah, I think. I think they could do it with that, but it would kind of make you think he's not. Like I think without the title, he kind of has the intrigue of who's going to win, who's not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just so excited. Like I
think
I don't even care what they do. Like I usually am like I'll be pissed if they don't do this. I'll be pissed if they don't do that. I don't like I don't really think there's a wrong way. I mean, I'm sure they can fuck it up where I'm like, wow, I can't believe they actually did this. But now
it's got to be Seth. It's got to be Seth. I think.
Do you think they do it at the Rumble though? Like that's what I'm worried about. Like there's a lot of time between now and Mania. When do you think he wrestles first? Does he just wrestle in the Rumble, or does he have like a match at the Royal Rumble, like a singles?
He could, and you could do it. I don't know, because I think like Drew gets his match again at the Rumble. I think Drew's going to get that title eventually. I think he has to at this point. But like with Seth, the easy way with CM Punk would be, all right, hey, you're going to come back at the Rumble, and then one of you's going to eliminate the other, or get pissed at the other, or do whatever. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like WrestleMania is such a long period of time away. You're right.
Yeah.
Even Rumble's so long. I don't know if you bring him. You might have to bring him back to do a couple matches. Maybe enter him in the Elimination Chamber
Yeah.
match and be like, "Hey, I'm entering the chamber." Maybe put him in the Rumble, have him lose, enter in the chamber, have him and Seth both lose in the chamber, and be like, "Hey, Seth, you know what? We're in it at Mania type of thing." I don't know. That is interesting because there's a lot of time, and like you can't just have him shoot promos from now until April.
Yeah.
The Royal Rumble, I think, now is the most intriguing, the most unpredictable. I guess you got to wait till the names get in there, but I don't know who is the favorite there.
Well, we do have one name that we know for sure will be in there. That's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes. I don't know if you can run it back though. Like you can, but it's almost like there's so many other matches I think for Cody to do before he takes another pin from Roman.
Yeah. I don't
think
yeah.
even now with CM Punk, I don't think Roman's not going to lose that title at WrestleMania. You're not going to deny us a potential Punk Roman, I guess, next fall feud type of thing without a title. So you're going to keep the title on him until then. So I don't know. Like again, I think Cody Randy makes the most sense if Randy enters the Rumble. I don't know who's that winner.
Yeah.
I think it's like I'm still like my brain's still at does Dwayne come back and win the Rumble?
That would be wild. I mean, I know I always love to talk about a good return. That's the season around when it would happen. It would be a very short kind of build up where he shows up there, or I know there was a rumor a while ago that he was going to show up at the Elimination Chamber for some reason, and that they wanted him to be a part of it. So maybe he shows up, like you said, at the Rumble, and then he just kind of does a little 3-4 month run there. Maybe that's what would happen.
I don't know, but I think the good thing with CM Punk though is if you put him in with Rollins and lock it in, Rollins is going to be his first feud. It's a trilogy feud, really, no matter what. So whether you start it now and do it Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Mania trilogy, or you do it started at Mania and go through Mania, Backlash, SummerSlam, or Mania, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, right? Something like it's a trilogy, no matter how you split it. And again, we've seen successful trilogies happen, whether it be starting at Mania or starting right after Mania through the summer without a title. Cody and Brock was the most recent one, where it's like we're just going to carry this from post-Mania to SummerSlam and keep him out of the title picture, and no one's going to bat an eye because this feud is so incredible. I think it'd be the same thing with CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Like they're going to be so. And again, Cody did it with Seth when he first came back. He came back at WrestleMania. They did WrestleMania. They did Hell in a Cell. Or they did WrestleMania. They did Backlash, and they did Hell in a Cell, like back to back to back through the summer. And it was kind of just like, this doesn't need a belt. Like it's awesome regardless. I think with CM Punk, you're going to see a similar thing, I think.
Yeah, and
it doesn't matter. Like they could tell you, I could say all that, and then they could say, yeah, CM Punk's first appearance is going to be at the Royal Rumble, and then KO tosses CM Punk out of the ring at the Royal Rumble, and then CM Punk says, Kevin Owens, I've had enough of your nonsense. Like you're my first, that's your first feud, and that would be an incredible first feud.
I don't like we said, I don't really think they can go wrong. There are so many different avenues that they can go down heading into WrestleMania season that I really, at this point, maybe I will tell you down the road that I think this is not the right idea or this sucks. But right now, there's not really a bad idea that I can be presented other than maybe Tozawa Roman Reigns. That might not work for me, but maybe it would. Maybe he deserves
You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.